God. This is how I died.
This is how I healed. This is how I learned to love myself.
This is how I transcended. This is how I got over.
Primary school. Sierra asks, why does your hair look like that? It looks like a dirty sponge. See, Sierra was the kind of black girl everyone expects black girls to look like. Long, loose, and unoffending curls ring her freckle-dusted cinnamon face.
I learned that my hair was a jungle almost as soon as I remember being able to know anything. It was uncivilized as any place could be, knotted vines conspiring, overthrowing colonizers at the first hint of moisture. It wanted to be itself. It did not understand what everyone else knew about what was wrong with it.
You say it's just hair, not a battle to be fought and won. A scar waiting to crust over because you won't let it close. An untamed jungle, a tangled vine, ready to catch you up in its brambles. You say it's just hair, not a crown of thorns tilted upon the head of the persecuted.
No matter how much I pull on the coils, they insist on saying, fuck you to gravity. They are as dense as a monsoon rain, and I do not know how to fall in love with them.
But this is my hair, my tangled thoughts non-neglected, these manifestations of ink and zinc and time not spent in Sunday afternoon kitchens with a hot comb to my kitchen, curled over and under and in submission and subdued for the uninitiated to handle.
It did not make sense. Our fair skin, our white mother prepared no one for this insistent screeching alarm. My mother bought special conditioner for the weekend she had us, said it would work well on damaged hair, showed me the bottle, pointed at the word damaged, said it twice. I understood, folded my mouth into two neat braids.
Fast forward 13 years in college, might as well be Mrs. Cope's class, but my hair has found stasis in the halo that appears after every shower.
My first white friend at a 4th grade sleepover said,
I don't know how you do it. I would just kill myself if I had your hair.
I knew it was a wild thing, my head, a roaring, intractable heat.
This is no petting zoo. I didn't invite you into this midnight forest. There are no paths in this labyrinth for you to follow. And I know it's hard to swallow this truth coughed up, claw cleared as if from a main-choked drain. You say it's just hair. Historically, the cause of self-hatred and pain. Hidden meanings that cause confusion. You say it's just hair, but I know better.
I am the magician, and it is the lovely assistant stretching into glory after every knot out and twist out. But it doesn't mind. My hair does not care if you can see the beauty of its bend and spiral.
For all you know, it's a storm cloud.
Or a fortress.
Or a siren beckoning lovers.
To look at the glory of God in a 4C curl.
In 6th grade, a well-meaning white girl I shared a few classes with asked, helpfully, have you ever just tried straightening it? She did not know how much of my history had been burned into the teeth of Nana's hot comb, did not know that the humid breath of my hair would have apologized to everyone if it knew how.
If it ain't upstairs, then it's downstairs by the couch, and if it's not there, then it's outside on the porch. The search for the hair box was treasure hunt filled with Solomon's gold, pony beads, and rainbow hair ties sparkling from summer playtime's water hoses. My team of explorers, my cousins, search for blue magic in a comb. Grandma wants her dander tamed, her scalp greased, her head scratched, and I'm the oldest and I do it the best. She offers me $1, and if I had known then what I knew now, I would have never have taken it. This was as priceless as her scars and her stories. This is a privilege. Her head knew a pain that I will never know, and she asked for my hands to heal them. Today, I would give anything to dip my fingers into that blue honey pot, part follicle, and strike conversation. Tell me about the barn. Tell me about Kansas wind, or tell me about the fires, and what were your sisters like? Every row I made in her head gave way to a new slit seed. Blue magic worked its way in, a salve for an old queen's head, a feeling to return to something sweeter than today. Before my mother, her mother greased her scalp like I am now. What an honor to have Grandma in my lap, half asleep and dreaming. She sleeps and she dreams of a time sweeter than today while I weave rose and wishes for this to be permanent. And before I wake her up, I clip in my favorite barrettes. Gold lions and black bears gilded in hearts. I will create a totem for her head, healed and strong.
I want to say I am in love with its every form, but I keep finding ways to bind my own hands with expectations and length checks, but my hair does not want to be your Rapunzel. The history I carry is one of being the world's stairway. My hair is reaching for its own heaven.
Crown of thorns, no longer. These roses have bloomed into your worst nightmare, beautiful and irreverent. My history combed through with the detangler of understanding, wide tooth combed through. My hair may be as soft as a lamb's. You say it's just hair. Are you kidding me? I just shake my locks, evidence of divinity.
Eventually, when my hair becomes itself again, they will all say how much they love it.
Some will even try to touch it.
They will believe in the value of their affirmation.
Like forgiveness is both a question and an answer.
Even after reading this poem, someone will tell me that I am beautiful.
That my hair is beautiful, as if I can still afford to give weight to their words.
We will have long since stopped listening to any voices
but our own.
She wanted me to paint the curves of her face, claim the expanse of a cheek, take her to where beauty was commonly rumored to be. She waited beneath my parted lips, anticipating pixie dust exhalations, claiming I had moxie after asking what the microphone on my neck was for. I saw her self-esteem. It was burning a hole in her pocket, and I made a silent oath not to lie at her expense. I listened intently as she presented hopeful requests of, okay, I want a simmering sunset across my forehead, hairline inflamed, framing moonstone pool eyes, dimension multi-light reflecting, make me so pretty that I can't see. Then they won't want to hurt me, just make me precious, please. 2 fingertips beneath her chin tilted back to catch the right amount of powdery fluorescence, I laced my questions with subtlety. Sales. Inquiries that create need. Like, what kind of changes have you noted lately? What does your daily regimen consist of? Drawing audible lines for her to read between. Have you ever guided a reluctant queen to her throne? She was waiting for me to paint her in peach kisses, to highlight this life lived lost, searching all the wrong mirrors, unaware of how to invest self in fruitful ventures. Like I've got love in a jar, going at a bargain, only costs half a lifetime for your first installment. No need to sign for your second shipment. We'll keep you as long as you'll stay. And I wish that we could wash our faces and hands and feet together and name each other beautiful. But right now, she wouldn't even believe me unless I waved my myriad of magic wands and repeated fabricated incantations about perfection for a price so high it must be worth it, right? Staring at receipts, haunted with these cliched notions of the amount of people she could have fed, books bought and read. In my mind, shrieking, don't you know that death can look like this? Like silent eyes and vacant lips, dumping shovelfuls of sand into the sea like you're just trying to build an island. Like I, so late, become awash in the monsoon of misconception, forgetting the most effective way to say that, baby, God don't make mistakes. And even if she did, they wouldn't look like you. I promise. I swear. Guarantee you can't carry validity in your pocket, baby. I know. It is so dark in here. But if we do our job properly, we'll never be at a loss for light.
Girl, you could be pretty if we could just do something about that hair. Why don't you just straighten it? And why don't it ever want to lay down even when you straighten it?
And why it always want to seem to stretch all the way up to the sky like you're praying all the time?
Girl, don't you know you'd be pretty if you just wore the same thing everybody else got on?
Why don't you do something about that gap?
Why are you smiling so big with your mouth wide open and your front teeth spread all apart like they the gates of heaven?
And why you laugh so loud? Ain't nobody ever told you a girl should be quiet, especially a pretty girl.
And why you gotta throw your head all the way back like that?
And why you gotta talk so straight like you're smarter than everybody? Don't you know a pretty girl ain't gotta be smart when she speaks?
Don't you know a pretty girl ain't supposed to speak at all? I never knew what it was like to be pretty. A delicate flower so fragile that to touch me would be to destroy my petals. So delicate that the world would handle me carefully out of fear that if I was ever destroyed, all of the beauty would be sapped from existence. No, I've never been that pretty.
It's like I'm fighting a different war. There are parts of my body that become the weapons of my own destruction. My skeleton will always speak first.
They told me I could be so pretty if I would just do this one thing, if I would just get in my place. Maybe you should cover some of that up, girl, or maybe you should show it all, or maybe you should shake it, girl.
Maybe you should shake it. I don't know what it's like to be morning dew or a swan's neck. I've never been that pretty. All I know how to be is strong. No time to sing these songs when I have to figure how to fly on these broken wings.
They want me to apologize for the clothes that never fit, for the body I didn't choose, for the body I didn't love, for the hair like mine, for the cheeks like mine, for the smiles, twisted and forced.
There is no science or poetry to a girl with teeth like mine. In this club, the hip bones of a brown girl will always condemn her.
How dare your mouth be so big and not smiling?
Pretty is the prying of strange fingers.
Pretty is the new black. If your feet weren't so big.
If you weren't so black.
If you could just be black enough.
If your hips could narrow and your lips tuck in.
If your hair could be more polite. If your face would just apologize, always arguing with itself so publicly.
It is difficult to flourish in a world where the natural form of yourself is unacceptable.
Afro puffs banned from classrooms.
Dreadlocks, not hireable.
But your weave is too unnatural.
Grow your own hair, but grow it correctly.
Welcome to the Solidarity Club.
The price is pretty.
The price is ethnically ambiguous.
The price is a brown paper bag tag.
If you could all just be pretty in a way that doesn't scare me, and
Why you always gotta scare me? I plucked my brows, hidden away unsavory parts of myself.
Painted my nails.
Spackled my face.
erased my hard edges trying to fit in this place.
I have sucked myself in and swallowed.
I cannot afford to be pretty enough not to scare the financiers of feminism.
But in a world where I am just hair and teeth and blood, it had better be pretty or be silent.
Black girl.
French maid.
Thick rope lips wrapped around future.
Fortune between thunder thighs.
Swole breasts.
Sassy favorite accountant.
Colony in Jordan River, Mississippi pool eyes.
Your favorite one-night mistake.
Wifey for real.
Pussy in a jar.
Red lipstick engineer.
Blood on veneer.
Blood on canvas.
Cinnamon stick blushing.
The one who stayed.
Queen, big belly, gold womb.
Panther aesthetic.
Gap teeth swallow your whole life.
Position power.
Queen bitch honor thesis.
Fetish for the meat of it.
The sweetest meal is the one you have killed yourself.
Resistance makes my body a spear.
They will still try to eat the knife of me.
For the beauty of it.
Love how I make them bleed.
Nails and they tend skin, and they'll still call me a delicacy.
Eat me.
Eat we, eat us.
Eat cracked teeth on this skin.
Sour to the colonizer's stomach.
This is how the world tried to write a biological biography.
They still can't finish.
Still can't consume completely.
Won't emancipate what they can't understand.
Still think they got some semblance of control.
Cackle in their faces.
Ask black hole questions.
They'll call us crazy.
What's a gal to do?
Pretty is the new black.
Pretty is the most expensive thing I will either buy or sell.
Pretty is the blackest thing I own.
Pretty is my shadow.
Pretty is a cage.
Pretty is a debt that I will never pay.
Pretty is a weapon, and I am always armed.